Well, what's Farina doing?
That's Farina, right over there.
Stay quiet for
She
now.
really is here all on her own.
Should I just give up?
Oh,
This is all meaningless.
he's sad.
What was meant to happen did happen after all. Everyone's dead.
Oh, come on now.
Sorry. I am so sorry. Give up, Farina. There's no point in holding out.
No, don't give up.
I'm sorry, but what can I even do other than to repeat meaningless apologies over and
Farina,
over?
listen to me.
Who's that?
It's
Don't
me.
worry, Farina, it's just us.
Oh boy.
So it is you, blonde traveler from another land. Why, I
She's-
almost thought you were someone
she's
from
such
that
a
mob of
wreck.
my ignorant subjects.
She's
Come
forcing
and kneel and
herself
beg for
to
my
act like
forgiveness.
this. It's horrible.
Farina, you were crying just now, weren't you?
Yeah.
The tear stains on your face are obvious.
What do you mean, tear stains?
It's okay, I'll listen.
I remember. The show at the Opera House earlier this morning was so moving. I'm still trying to process it. Who did that uncivilized rabble think they were? Disturbing my enjoyment of the arts. They even dare to tout their Archon. I must teach them a lesson. I can just imagine their twisted and frustrated faces once they realize that I'm nowhere to be
Imagine
found.
how hard it is to laugh just moments after you cried.
Oh, and I'm sure
Have to
Nivelette
be
and those
such a good
people from the
actor.
Marish Jose Phantom are freaking out right next to them too.
Yeah, stop trying to act tough, Farina.
Of course not.
Hey, there she is! The Hydro Archon's over there!
Who are you?
Quick, after her!
Wait, what? I'm busy here.
Farina, those people seem to be after you.
They are. They're just some rabid fans who want to cut the line because they haven't been able to meet me
I
in
don't think
person,
they're
aren't they?
fans. I think they want to rip you apart.
That's against the rules. I can't let them get their way.
And what am I gonna do?
Farina just ran off. Quick, we have to catch up with her.
Where? Wait, where did he go? Oh, behind the barrels. The crates, actually.
This should be the place, right? Hey, Farina! There's a good hiding spot over here. Quick, come to Paimon before the rest of them catch up to you.
What is this place?
Hurry, they're almost here.
Was there such a building?
Fine,
don't
I
remember.
suppose haste is warranted.
Paimon's exhausted.
So we're gonna hide here for a while.
I'm so tired. No, I mean, I merely gave in to the sheer enthusiasm they displayed.
Of course, Farina. This place is not what I'd call soundproof.
You're right.
Yep, that's a good girl.
What? Earthquake?
What's happening?
Oh,
The
another
ground's shaking.
disaster just
Is it
struck,
an earthquake?
I suspect.
Yeah, a quake of this kind preceded the flooding in
Oh.
Poisson, didn't it?
Actually, that's worse. If the water's gonna rise, then we're in a bad spot.
Can't be. It's happening again.
Well, there's no need to worry too much about that. Novelette's made some emergency plans, so the
Nope.
evacuation should go a lot smoother
What
this
plans?
time.
No one told me.
Yeah,
We're not
I
ready.
hope you're right. But the people of Poisson, they've already...
Yes, I know. Has Farina finally reached her limit? Now that she's talking about her actual feelings, she's starting to look far less stiff. Begin to talk amongst yourselves as Farina slowly calms down.
It's true. I've been investigating the prophecy for hundreds of years.
There we go. Now speak up, please.
I once had informants all over Tevat, searching for clues and feeding information back to me. I've tried all kinds of ways too to hold back the sea. Anything to keep the coastline from advancing. But all my efforts proved to be futile in the end. Really, the truth has been clear to me for a very long time. We cannot make an enemy of the divine. No matter what we do, the will of the heavenly principles will have its way, and the prophecy shall be fulfilled.
No, they won't. You still haven't given up, right?
Give up. I do love the sound of that phrase. It would mean finally coming to terms with fate, but also for me to finally be free.
That would also mean that all hope would disappear.
Indeed. I've thought about giving up so many times, especially after we almost lost Poisson. Fate is really unreasonable, isn't it? It has no heart and obeys no rules.
That's right.
The prophecy has only just started to come true, and so many people have already lost their lives. But just now, it all became clear to me. I still don't have the right to come to terms with fate on behalf of everyone else. As long as the final moment hasn't come, it's still not too late. Don't worry. I will keep hope alive for everyone until the very end.
But what can we do?
Well, that's enough for now. I got the impulse to play the stricken maiden.
We're not
but
playing,
honestly, considering
Farina.
my rank and station, that wasn't a good fit at all. Don't take any of what I just said seriously.
Oh, I
How
will.
could I possibly let Fontaine fall to the whims of trivial prophecy?
Come on! Paimon could have sworn you were actually being honest just now.
We're running out of time. We can't just go back to square one like this. I had to get more information out of her. Farina, you might not have to shoulder this burden alone. Your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Share my burden. That's
Yes.
impossible.
Why not?
It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness. Yeah,
Witness?
that's correct.
Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars,
How
yes.
did you hear that?
In other words,
Every
you
Archon knows about
never
me without
belonged
even
here.
seeing me.
And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator,
No.
aren't you?
More or less.
If that's the case...
Yes. There's no time left. Please, Farina, just spit it out. Until it's too late. Well, what's going on? Wait, what? We're in the opera house? Oh. Damn. This was the trap.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I
this
even
concludes
forgot
my
about
opening
it.
performance. Now, without further ado, we may proceed to the trial of our god.
So, this is what it is. Yes, you deserve praise for the effort you took to raise the dramatic stakes. Do not forget, however, that I am Fosalor, the god of justice.
Yes, we know.
The embodiment of justice itself. Does it not strike you as even the least bit absurd to bring the very concept of justice to trial?
May I interpret these words? as your refusal to stand trial.
No, everyone's ready.
In that case, you will have the opportunity to defend your honor through a duel.
Lauren, don't do it.
You would draw your blade against a god?
She obviously can.
It seems like you have made up your mind.
Huh? What's going on? She surrenders.
Paimon can't believe it. She just surrendered.
What the heck is going on? Did I just see an Archon surrender to a human?
Wow, how utterly humiliating.
Lady Farina, what is the meaning of this?
Those
It would
must be
seem that there
her
has been a
biggest fans.
misunderstanding. To be clear, the raising of both hands is not always an indication of surrender.
Looking for excuses again, huh?
I raised
Well,
my
she's
hands
always
just now
full of
to
excuses.
indicate my
We know
acceptance
that.
of the trial. I will admit that I've been running away for a long time. I'm sorry, everyone. I was unable to protect the people of Poisson. You are not the only ones to be disappointed in me.
Yeah,
I, too,
everyone's worried.
am exceedingly disappointed in myself. But now, it is time for the Hydro Archon to show you her courage and resolve. I, Farina, will use this trial to show the world the true meaning
Oh, I remember
of
this line
justice.
from the live stream.
This time, I will protect you. Applaud and rejoice. One of the most outrageous and fantastical arcs known to the opera epiclese is now unfolding before your eyes. Mark my words. This shall be one of the most exhilarating and brilliant shows ever to grace the stage of Fontaine.
Except for this isn't the show.
The trial of the Hydro Archon, Focalor, will now begin!
Woohoo!
Oh, now we're making history.
Why does
Yeah,
it
this
feel
isn't
like
the
Farina
show.
just took over the whole thing? Like, come on! Didn't she just get forced to stand trial for her crimes?
Let her have her moment.
Also, even though she's still acting super dramatic, she is taking this seriously this time, right?
I don't know.
All right,
It's hard
then.
to tell.
Who will be my opponent in this trial?
The court asks the prosecutor to please take the stand.
Yep. Thank you, Your Honor.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Very well. Then please speak, witness of Tivat, my accuser and fated opponent.
I'm sorry, Farina. You just made me do it. We were so close to getting her to tell us the truth, and it still turned out like this in the end. I'm also sad that we had to push her like this. It's okay though, as long as we can defeat Farina in court, we still have a chance to figure everything out. Do we? This is getting stressful. How is this gonna turn out?
Please allow me to ask, as a final question before the trial begins, just how much work did you do to force me onto this stage?
Not much. I was hanging out for 2 days.
Well, we did do a lot of prep after the meeting that day.
Did we?
I can go over the tasks assigned to the Spina di Rosula,
Oh.
since they were rather straightforward
There's
and easy.
Nalia, there's... Oh yeah, that's Clorin and that's Charlotte.
Navia, the president of the Spina di Rosula.
Most of the people who participated in the disturbance this morning were my subordinates.
Oh,
They changed into plain clothes and came to the opera house as regular audience members.
look at that. They
waiting
planned
for
it
the
out.
perfect opportunity to incite insurrection
Also, I love
against
these
you.
pictures.
The people's resentment against their Archon has been building as more and more of the prophecy is fulfilled. A spark was all we needed to turn smoldering anger into a flame. Moreover, according to our understanding and analysis of you, when something like that occurred, you would likely flee the scene and head to Poisson by yourself.
They already know.
So, we arranged for a second group to lie in wait there.
So, you mean...
Ah, that was
the
the
ones
second
who
group who
scoured the
chased us.
settlement for me were also from the Spina.
And their goal was to force you to step into the giant magic box so you may personally participate
that
in the
part of the
greatest magic
plan?
performance in all of Fontainian history.
That's right. That house was a magic box, rather than someone's residence.
As the super ultimate version of the setup that I used when I first
ultimate.
performed at the Opera Epiclese, the volume of the box was increased by a whole order of magnitude, and the distance it traversed was the entire gap between Poisson and Areneas.
That's
Its
very
cargo,
far.
of course, was an Archon instead of a human. My thanks, Farina. Without your help, we could never have pulled off such an extraordinary performance.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Of course, this performance was only made possible with Father's support.
Oh.
The House of the Hearth spent a massive amount of
many
labor and
Fatui
Mora to
joined
pull
in.
this off. We had to select a location, construct the giant magic box, dig a tunnel, and open up a path through the water. It was a lot of work for all of us.
So, in other words, the earthquake that we felt within the giant magic box was just a normal tremor from
Yeah.
the transportation of the whole
It
house?
fooled me real good.
That's right. It wasn't a sign of another disaster to come.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then, I can guess Nervilette and Cloran's parts. You gathered a crowd, prepared a stage, and made sure that the champion duelist would be immediately ready for a fight.
Right.
Also that as soon as I appeared on the stage, the trial may commence without a hitch. Am I right?
You're right about that.
Yes, that is correct.
Well, Clorand, I must commend you for your courage. Only the most outstanding champion duelist in all of Fontaine would accept a duel with an Archon without flinching.
Thank you.
She just
As
takes
for
it as a
you,
compliment.
Traveler, I suppose your role was to keep me distracted with conversation
I'm
once
still
you
sorry,
found me in
Farina.
Poisson.
I'm gonna say it 100 times.
You'd make sure that I didn't notice anything amiss before revealing yourself as my prosecutor once
Oh,
we'd arrived
see?
onto the stage.
You guessed wrong, although what's the other deal?
Oh?
My mission was to give you the last chance. Oh. Before Magic Box arrived onto the stage.
Is that so? Then I suppose I must have missed my final chance.
No, wait.
It's fine. It matters not. What's
It
done
does
is
matter.
done.
Let's
The
not go
stage
back.
is already set.
Let's not
so
start-
there's no
start
reason to
from
disappoint the
square one.
audience. Let's see this trial through to the very end.
Is it gonna be a long trial though? The only thing we can do now is judge the Hydro Archon. Still, I can't help but a little bothered by that conversation earlier. What did Farina want to say to me right before we arrived on stage?
Sir Prosecutor, please allow me to pass this along.
What is it?
This is a document that Miss Charlotte applied for and received permission to share with you during the trial.
Oh, okay.
According to her, it should speed up the proceedings.
That's good.
Charlotte wanted to give us something? Oh, so she's here too! Hey,
Of course
Charlotte!
she's there. We saw her.
Oh, let Paimon see. Isn't this the exclusive interview that she did with us before? Wait, then that means this document is a perfect timeline of everything that's happened ever since we stepped foot in Fontaine. So in other
Okay.
words, we can refer to this anthology of evidence every time we want to use something from our journey as evidence for an argument.
Super practical gift.
Let's quickly confirm the information in it. Just think of it as a refresher, alright?
Alright.
You defeated the Hydro Archon in the very first duels you took part in at the Opera House.
Yeah, that did
That's one for
happen.
the history books, all right. I didn't think that you'd wind up getting to
Oh,
the bottom
this
of the
guy.
case I'd been following all this time. I guess you could also see this as a happy coincidence. This is the first time Monsieur Nervilette had a difference of opinion with the Oratrice. Even the Hydro Archon can't
So
figure
these
it
are
out.
resolved and unresolved
A
things.
Fatui Harbinger. She's an extraordinary person. Her instinct must mean something.
Yeah, she's weird.
The fortress of Meripede was almost destroyed in a single day. That I didn't witness that scene personally will always be a source
Did
of
we
professional
tell her
regret,
about
I
it?
think.
How did she know?
According to Monsieur Nervilette, Both Child and that whale should have been in the primordial sea at that time. I nearly lost my awesome friend Navia. To be honest, that still gives me shivers.
And what about
The
Nicole?
words of someone as extraordinary as a witch can probably only be truly understood when something surreal happens to you.
Okay, so that's it.
The prosecution and the defense are both in position. The trial shall now begin.
Oh, come on, Nervylette. There's no need to repeat all the unimportant legalese. Just fast forward to the part where the prosecution lays out my offenses.
Oh yeah,
As
that's a good
the
idea.
defendant
Just fast
and
forward
the lead
and start the
actress of this
sentence.
performance, I still haven't even been informed of my supposed guilt in all of this.
Oh yeah.
Of course, it is only natural for humans to struggle to understand the actions of a god. However, you will need more than that to convict me of a crime.
That's true.
Oh,
But my charge here is unrelated to your conduct as an Archon.
Zach got paid. Come on, give me more lines.
Instead, I would like to charge you as a fraud who's never been the Archon in the first place.
Oh, okay. I can get that.
Wait, what was that? Lady Farina's a fraud?
But how can we prove it?
Hey, I came here thinking that
And
we
the
were
music
going
changed
to try the
instantly.
Hydro Archon for forsaking our duty, but did I hear that right? She's not our Archon at all?
Charge accepted. Lady Farina, do you plead guilty to the charge?
Of course not.
Lady Farina,
I plead not guilty. There is no way that I, Focalor, otherwise known as Farina de Fontaine, a member of the Seven and the Regina of all waters, kindreds, peoples, and laws of Fontaine,
Okay,
could be
don't
anything
stretch it
other
out
than your
like that.
true Archon.
Yeah. Even though Lady Farina can be rather eccentric, isn't it going too far to doubt her very identity?
No.
Yeah, I've never questioned her identity.
It means you
either.
are fools, that's
Sure,
why.
Lady Farina can be super irresponsible, but what grounds does that prosecutor have to make such a huge claim?
I have cause to believe that common sense will prevail in this case. Many of the members of the audience have known me as the Hydro Archon ever since they were born. There would be no fooling their memory.
Interesting.
See? Even the Oratrice has decided
Wait,
to
what?
show me its favor.
When did it move?
Are you sure you want to commit
Is
to a
that
charge
thing
that
broken
will never
again?
be upheld? If you wish to drop the case, I can promise you as the god of justice
Oh, she thinks
that
I
you
will
will not
drop
have to
it.
face trial for making a false accusation.
Nope.
We will treat everything that's happened as a dramatic spectacle and move on with our lives.
Nope.
What do you say to that?
Ain't gonna happen.
An argument with near impossible odds, huh? You have to not only refute Farina's claims, but also overturn the long-held beliefs of the people.
The people only see you as their Archon.
Well, I tried to give you the chance to surrender.
I won't surrender.
If you must persist, then let me ask. If you believe I'm not the Archon, then what manner of being do you think I am?
Good question. An oceanid?
And if I was not the Archon, then how did I manage to live for over 500 years?
Also a good question. I've got to think carefully. What do we know about Farina exactly? I have to choose something? Let's see. Irrelevant. The Knave's story.
First of all, you
Because-
may be
yeah.
a member of another long-lived race, which would allow you to naturally possess an extended lifespan. And second of all, even if that wasn't the case, there could be other ways to extend your life.
Such as a curse.
Who gave you that idea? Was it the knave? You'd sink so low as to use a harbinger's words against me.
Well, it doesn't matter who gave us the information.
A curse? I once thought it possible that the aura of an Archon might naturally resemble a type of curse. But in light of this claim, perhaps what I sensed was not your divinity, but a curse after all.
That's even worse.
Neuvillette sensed it too, huh?
Well, instead of an Archon, could you just be a cursed human?
Lady Farina is actually a human?
Well,
They're
it is
really
true that
believing
it's
what I say?
extremely difficult to tell humans and gods apart just by...
Oh, now it balanced out. 1 point for me.
Well, don't start celebrating too early now. Even if I have been carrying a curse like you said, how does that prove that I am merely a human being? Besides, everyone knows that the main difference between a human and a god is the possession of authority. Gods can do what humans cannot. That's why they're worshipped as gods.
Well, I think some with visions can do.
For centuries, manifestations of my authority have served the nation of Fontaine.
Okay.
One need only to turn their eyes towards the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinal in this very opera house, or consider the indemnitium that is used in every aspect of life.
Wait. That one trial proved to be opposite. Farina actually has no control over the Oratrice at all. I think I know it's about child's conviction.
You tried to reference the Oratrice, but weren't you as confused as all the rest of us when the Oratrice declared Child to be guilty without any proof?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you should have come up with a good explanation for that by now.
Didn't I make myself clear at the time? The decisions of the gods are naturally difficult for humans to comprehend. There is no need to provide an explanation.
We need an explanation, actually.
Lady Farina, I believe a reminder of your current circumstances is in order.
Not even Neuvillette likes it.
While the court
She
is in
needs to
session,
explain.
the principles of justice and the law must come before all else. While you are an Archon, you are also first and foremost the defendant in this trial. You will prove yourself unable to defend against the prosecution's charges if you continue to withhold vital information against the rules of the court.
I never thought you'd use that kind of rhetoric against me.
That was no trick of rhetoric, Lady Farina. I've merely reiterated the rules of the court. Rules that all should respect and follow.
So, you neither knew why Child was declared guilty, nor did you understand the structure and operations of the Oratrice. Instead of having been created by you, the manifestations of authority you mentioned have been made by the real Hydro Archon, haven't they?
The real Hydro Archon? Well, now you're really losing me.
We're going back in circles.
It is true that I did not know why the Oratrice gave out a guilty verdict that day. But the Oratrice handed out that verdict unilaterally, and it has been operating independently ever since it was first created.
Supposed to have a mind on its own, right?
You can't argue that just because a divine creation is flawed, that the god behind it must also be no god at all.
Well, there's no such thing as perfect.
Seems like she's confident that we won't be able to produce proof that she has no power over the Oratrice.
But then, Miss Farina, could you give us a brief demonstration of your power as an Archon?
My power as an Archon?
Another good idea?
There are many ordinary citizens in the audience. How can I just carelessly demonstrate the formidable power of an Archon?
I mean, we don't need you to shoot water blasts. Just, I don't know, do something a normal vision user can.
If that poses a concern, I'm prepared to extend my protection to the audience.
See? Now you're safe.
You don't need to go that far.
Well, a brief demonstration of your power or Hydro should be quite harmless.
Aren't you the Hydro Archon? Or is it that you can't even wield the power of Hydro, much less the authority of a god?
Indemnitium! Yes! It's all because of Indemnitium! All Archons derive their power from the faith of the people, and I've converted the people's faith in justice into Indemnitium!
I don't think you can do that.
Thus, did I give up all of my divine power to provide everyone with energy for their daily lives. Have you ever seen a more magnanimous god?
I don't know. We still have a lot to go through.
Isn't that a huge stretch?
Yeah, no matter how generous an Archon can be, how could they give up all their power? Can a god with no power even still be called a god?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, she's losing.
It seems like nobody's buying Farina's excuse.
Hey, come now, everyone. Please don't stare at me as if I was a liar. I'm still the same Farina you knew, right? The one that you loved. Shouldn't you want to believe in me? Please? You've got to believe me.
If what the prosecutor said is true, she really has committed a grave offense.
What is she hiding?
Did she deceive all of us? And all of our parents and grandparents too?
Yeah.
And all of our ancestors? Ever since they were born?
Yeah, I know, it's horrible.
Enough. That's enough. Tell me then, if I'm not the real Hydro Archon, then who is?
We don't know about that. It might not even exist anymore.
If you have no evidence of another Hydro Archon's existence, nor can you find anyone who can back up their claim to be such, then what grounds have you to say that I'm not actually the real deal?
You can still try and prove you're not the real deal, even if we can't find the real one.
Wow, she came up with yet another argument. How can we refute her now? Seems like she really doesn't want to give up.
Yeah. If you can't prove that she isn't the Archon, we can try to prove that she is just a human. If she's only a human... what now? Wait, she's only a human, that means... Vache's case? The dissolving?
It has been established that all Fontainians can dissolve in water from
Yeah.
the primordial sea. And that means...
Since you insist on claiming to be a god and not a human, then there's a method that you can use right here and now to eliminate all suspicions of you being the latter.
Miss Navia, please apply to serve as a temporary attorney for the prosecution before addressing the court. Though you act in partnership with the prosecutor, you must still adhere to proper procedure.
Super sorry,
Yeah, this is
Mr.
what,
Chief
the third
Justice.
time she's
I swear
interrupting.
this really will be the last time that I'll speak out of turn. Now, I've brought some seawater from Poisson.
Oh.
As everyone knows, a massive flood struck the area not long ago, taking many lives, including those of some of my closest friends. So, Miss Farina, would you dare to touch some of the seawater? If we are to believe that you are indeed the real Hydro Archon, touching the seawater would have no effect on you. All it should do is strengthen your case. But if you don't dare to touch it, then we would have basically proved the reverse.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I must remind you that after the disaster at Poisson, nobody wants to see any more people dissolve.
That they don't want to
I do
get
hope
sick
you'll
at
act
least.
prudently and choose the simpler path of admitting guilt.
Navia from the Spina di Rasula. The Spina has governed Poisson for many years. I guess her suggestion is valid.
If Lady Farina is indeed just a human, she's probably Fontainian like all the rest of us. Of
course.
Would she really dare to try?
Wait. Farina? You're not
Lady Farina,
thinking
this
about doing
test
it.
has been unilaterally proposed by the prosecution.
Are you
As it
ready
falls
to
outside
go
the realm
through
of
that?
standard court proceedings,
Just for a
you possess
lie?
the right to decline participation.
Well, of course he had to tell her that. But refusing to participate is basically the same as a confession of guilt.
She's just staring at the water without saying a single word.
Of course. You just have to
It does seem like she's
take
quite
it all in.
terrified of it. That could only mean...
What's going on? Is she really planning to... that's not what we thought she would...
means she is doubting herself.
Due to the inherent risk of the test, Lady Farina, you may...
Oh boy.
Hey!
She actually did it.
I'm
Nothing happened.
fine!
Maybe it's
everyone!
glove?
My hand is still here!
No, I don't
I
think
haven't
so.
been dissolved! Will you believe me now? I really am your Archon! I'm nothing like a normal human who would fall apart as soon as they touch this water! Really? Was this not the most obvious thing in the world?
Miss Siegewin? If you are present, Miss Siegewin, please come forward and attend to the defendant.
Siege Win?
Ah, I get it, because
Don't
she
be
can
nervous.
see
It'll
through
just take a few
the
seconds.
nonsense.
That should be enough.
Please announce the results of your evaluation
Yeah,
to the
what
court,
did you
Miss
see?
Siegewin.
As everyone doubtlessly saw, Miss Farina was displaying symptoms of hyperventilation and flushed skin. These indicate that she was experiencing the adverse effects of exposure to primordial seawater. The extent to which she was affected is the same as other humans when exposed to primordial seawater of a similar concentration.
Interesting.
Thank you, Miss
So it was
Siegewin.
diluted
Lady Farina,
version.
you may return to the defendant's stand.
Oh wait, what did she just say? I didn't get dissolved! Shouldn't that be enough to prove my innocence?
Oh,
Well,
not really.
considering your tendency to run from your problems, we did originally prepare a direct sample of the seawater around Poisson. However,
direct
after
sample?
extensive discussion, we exchanged it for a sample that is not concentrated enough to dissolve an actual human. After all, on the off chance that something entirely unexpected might occur, we don't want anyone else to lose their life to the sea.
Yeah, so out of regard for Farina's life, you secured a low-concentration sample and asked the head nurse to serve as an expert witness. It's a great thing that the direct sample wasn't actually used. Farina could have...
I can't believe... You...
Yeah, we fooled you. But what's really going on here? Farina can't have not known the consequences of touching water as a human. It's too unlike how she usually acts, unless it's actually more important for her to keep her facade and save her own life. But hadn't she given up on everything a long time
Listen
ago?
Listen to me, everyone! Please don't give me such cold and disdainful looks! What happened just now didn't prove a single thing! Think about it! How can you conclusively prove that an Archon can't also be affected by the primordial seawater?
Oh, well, I think they can't.
Also, if I was really just a human, why would I dare to just put my hand in that kind of water?
Prove your point. Yeah, people are not believing.
Please, everyone, anyone, just listen to me. I swear, I really am your Archon.
Oh, come on, don't cry. It's getting so hard to watch.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. The odds are just too stacked against her now.
Yeah.
With all the things that have been said, Paimon doesn't think there's any way left for Farina to win.
I believe the time for arguments and presentation of evidence has come to an end.
Oh no.
If there are no objections, we will move on to the final judgment.
I don't think anything she says at this point will sway anyone. She's too stacked against her now.
In my capacity as Chief Justice, I shall now render judgment on Farina's misrepresentation of herself as the Archon of Fontaine. As a human who knowingly deceived her fellow citizens, Farina is...
guilty, of course.
Guilty. We shall now turn to the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale to render the final verdict on the charges.
This is so sad. And to think I made this happen. I'm the bastard that made this happen. Oh boy. Time to get my 3-star. Obviously, it's gonna be guilty. There's no special
According
case.
to the judgment of the Oratrice Mécanique d'Analyse Cardinale, Farina is...
Well, what's wrong? What's the Oratrice's verdict?
Did the Oratrice just declare Farina innocent?
No. The Oratrice also displays a guilty verdict.
But
Isn't that correct then?
is there different wording?
However, the exact wording of the verdict is thus. The Hydro Archon, guilty.
Yes, well.
To be punished via the death sentence.
That's not good.
The death sentence?
That's actually one of the available sentences?
Yeah.
I always thought that it was just a myth.
I also remember they said there isn't such a sentence.
The one and only time the death sentence has been handed out at the court. And it's been given to the very person we've worshipped as the god of justice? What an unexpected twist.
Hey, get it? The unexpected twist Farina wanted, except no one wants this.
Farina's been sentenced to death by the Oratrice? We just wanted to use the trial to show her the seriousness of things so she'd tell us the truth.
That's right.
How did things escalate this quickly?
I guess we really ruined it.
This outcome is indeed quite strange. According to Fontaine's current definitions of justice, as well as its recommendations for criminal sentences, is this sentence really appropriate for the crimes that have been committed?
Yeah! Even Mache wasn't sentenced to death by the Oratrice.
Yeah.
You know, the real evil mastermind behind the serial
Instead of
disappearances
Farina,
case.
the Oratrice rendered judgment on the Hydro Archon. Oh. Yeah, now that I think about it, it didn't say about... Technically, it didn't say Farina, it said the Hydro Archon.
Indeed.
Then
Not only is
who are we
Farina's
talking
sentence
to?
overly excessive, the very point of our trial today was also to prove that Farina has never been the Hydro Archon in the first place. But now, the Oratrice seems to have deliberately invoked the title of the Hydro Archon. What does this mean?
This is confusing.
Excuse
Oh,
me,
Fremini.
if I may interrupt.
What's up?
Is the trial still going?
Kinda.
Fremini! Huh, you finally made it. I assume this means you've completed your mission?
Mm-hmm. Any mission Father assigns to me will always be top priority.
And what's the mission again? With some help of the other Futui from the...
Is
Oh!
that the first prophecy slate?
Oh yeah, it was the first one. So what is it?
So the knave privately arranged for Fremine to try and find the missing slate.
I looked everywhere and finally found it at the bottom of the sea.
At the bottom?
It took me a long time to get
But
around
who
some
moved
dangerous
it? Who
stretches
ripped
of
it
water.
out?
But has the trial already concluded? Then
No.
doesn't
Don't worry.
that mean I've come
that
too late?
mystery has been resolved yet.
Oh no.
Thank you for your
So,
hard work, Mr. Fremine.
It looks like...
Please allow me to review the record left on the slate.
It looks like... Give me a good view, please.
Traveler, I believe that you have already seen the other existing slates, and would like you to come here and confirm their contents.
Huh? So what do you see? What is it?
This looks like... Previous Hydro Archon releasing her divine power, turning the oceans into human beings.
I believe I have now made sense of the Hydro Archon's crime. It has to do with Fontaine's lost history.
Okay, so she is making oceans into humans?
Isn't the Hydro Archon just guilty of deceiving her people?
That's
Oh,
not
wait,
fossil,
no,
or that's
Farina,
Egeria, right?
And we've already proven that she's not the Hydro Archon. So when you say Hydro Archon, do you mean the real Hydro Archon
Yeah,
we've
the
been kind
real.
of talking about?
In truth, everything that you've encountered in Fontaine up until this point can be traced back to the contents of these stone slates. However, I'm uncertain as to how much sense they currently make to you.
An association between the contents of the slate's events in real life.
Let's try to recall the contents of the other 3 stone slates. Paimon will do her best to help you remember.
Okay. Select the descriptions with keynotes. Okay, I think I get it.
The first stone slate just said. It seems to show the previous Hydro Archon using her divine power, and then the Oceanids turn into humans.
Yeah, bizarre.
Does that mean that Fontainians are transformed Oceanids? Oh, Paimon wasn't expecting that. But if Oceanids can turn into humans, then perhaps this process can be reversed as well.
Well, we haven't seen a single time that happened.
The second stone slate shows Celestia floating in the sky, and the Hydro Archon and her people worshipping it together. But the heavens still brought judgment down upon
Yeah, because they did something.
This must be the point when the Hydro Archon and the Fontainians were branded with their original sin.
That's right, and that's when Celestia decided,
The
nope,
original sin and the
not
Hydro
gonna have
Archon
any of
sin are
it.
the same thing? The third slate shows the Hydro Archon sinking into the sea,
This
surrounded
one
by
I don't
many
get it.
people. Huh. That reminds Paimon, didn't we also watch that happen to someone else? Well, the fourth slate is
And
the
this is the prophecy's
Fontainians have
end.
been talking about. People dissolving into the sea, the Hydro Archon crying on her throne, and so on. We didn't believe that such a crazy disaster could happen at first, did we? But after that incident, it was just a question of when and not if. They'll dissolve into the primordial sea,
Oh,
but won't cease
the
to
picture
exist.
from the
Their essence will
second
flow in the
quest.
seawater, converge, and take the form of an Oceanid. The Hydro Archon was sentenced to death in court,
So
shocking
this
everyone
one's
present.
from the first quest.
Perhaps this means that her sin was actually Fontaine's original sin. Navia fell into the water inside
Yeah,
those
this
ruins,
was very
and
recent.
she nearly dissolved. She was surrounded by the people of Poisson in a court within her consciousness, and was forced to take part in a trial meant to make her stay. The
And
eruption
this
of the
is
primordial sea at the fortress
okay.
of Maripede was the surest
That's
sign
Act
that the
3.
prophecy was about to come to pass
No,
no
actually,
matter what.
it's Act 4.
The stone slate's content can all be verified by recent events. If we combine what we know together, loads of truths should come to light.
Verification complete. So, what's gonna happen?
Oh, Paimon gets it now! So that's how you can make sense of it. But then it feels like we're going to have to share some truly shocking revelations.
Oh yeah, to the people.
Let's hear them.
Fontainians are not real humans.
Incredible. Linny, did you hear that?
Yeah, you're not human.
We're not real humans.
All Fontainians were originally created by the late previous Hydro Archon, with Oceanids as their basis. The evidence for that can be found in how only Fontainians could dissolve in primordial seawater, and how all the girls Vacher dissolved were also turned into Oceanids.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, and according to Navia, when she was about to get dissolved, she also saw everyone gathered around for a trial, all of them in the shape of Oceanids.
Indeed.
And the second slate reveals...
Yeah, and it follows from the content of the first slate that she probably angered Celestia by creating humans without prior permission.
Yeah.
That could also
And then
explain why
gave
the
her-
Oratrice judged the Hydro Archon to be guilty. It's to account
Oh.
for that ancient sin.
Wait, yeah, not actually the curse, it just gave her the thing
Hydro
that she's
Archon's
guilty
true
and
sin
everyone should
was
just die.
creating us?
And yet, after many hundreds of years, the Hydro Archon's creations have turned around to try to judge the
Yeah.
Archon within the
I'm
Opera
still convinced
Epiclese.
that it should come after the fourth slate.
Yeah, isn't the image here just like when Navia fell into
So
the
the
sea?
order is wrong.
So wouldn't it be trying to show the image of the Hydro Archon also falling into the sea once the prophecy has been fulfilled in the fourth slate?
The fourth slate depicts the fulfillment of the prophecy as it's already widely known.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain weeping on her throne. Did Paimon get all that right?
Yep.
You've made some keen deductions. I must say, given how much you still don't know, it is impressive that you've already
What
managed
do
to
we don't
connect so
know?
many pieces of the truth. However, while you were able to decode all the information on the slates, they've also been etched with an additional layer of hidden information using a different power source. When we were at the
different
ruins,
power source.
I tried to decipher
is
the
it?
hidden information recorded in the slates. But since we only had 3 slates at the time, I was unable to come to a full conclusion. Now that the slate collection is complete, I shall make another attempt to decipher the narrative recorded within. If everything goes well, we should finally be informed of the unadulterated truth.
So what's recorded in it? Is he gonna tell us?
Well? Did you get it?
I believe I should share this truth not only with you, but with all the people of Fontaine as well.
Oh, is it
I will
that
try
bad?
to briefly summarize it for you. Your hypotheses regarding the origin of Fontainians and the sin of the Hydro Archon were both correct.
Oh,
in the
cool.
Fontaine of old, the previous Hydro Archon sensed the yearning of her Oceanid familiars for life on land.
Oh, there's Eidolons.
The Oceanids were enamored with the beauty and romanticism of human beings, and wishing to have those experiences for themselves, expressed to the Hydro Archon their desire to become of a similar kind. However, even though water as an element
what
is
about,
intricately linked with the power of life,
Eidolons?
the Hydro Archon, as one of the
They
7,
too?
did not possess the authority to create a new form of human life. Not one to give in, she eventually found a way to create permanent humanoid bodies for her familiars by appropriating the power of this planet's primordial sea.
Oh, okay.
She poured
There was a way
primordial
then.
seawater into the Oceanid's blood vessels, creating
Blood
humanoid
vessels?
mimics in the
Where?
process.
Into the water?
But if Fontainians were to ever come into direct contact with water from the primordial sea,
So that's
the
why
power
they
within their
dissolve.
bodies would escape these artificial restraints and return to the sea.
They return
As
back
a result,
to their normal
their
forms.
forms would collapse, and they would be reverted to their original forms as Oceanids.
But we haven't seen only one. Yeah, well, besides the bunch of Oceanids during Silver and Mulu's being gone, we only seen one Oceanid. So what's the deal? They can't use their bodies or something?
Of course, the Hydro Archon never received permission from the heavenly principles to create a new human race. And thus, the Hydro Archon and all of her creations came to shoulder the original sin of appropriating the power of the primordial sea. That is the true history of how the people of Fontaine first came into being.
So we were all Oceanids before we turned into human beings?
Yep.
That's way too much information for me. I think I'm just going to pretend that I never heard a single
Yeah,
thing.
I understand. It would just break me.
Wait, but if that's the truth, we can't let the Hydro Archon be sentenced to death. After all, her only sin was creating us.
This really
That's
might
true.
be too much information for your regular Fontainian, but it does answer a lot of our questions.
Alas, your hypothesis regarding the 3rd and 4th stone slates was inaccurate. The slates' respective positions are, in fact, correct.
Ah, so they are in the right order.
A key point of the visual on the 3rd slate is how all the individuals depicted in the water are humans rather than Oceanids. They have not been dissolved, which implies that the water depicted in this slate is not water from the primordial sea. The nation of Fontaine is the nation of Hydro, as
But it's
well as
still
the
gonna
nation of
flood,
trials
right?
and justice. Instead of being the literal element, the water in the scene symbolizes judgment and justice. You may also recall Navia's experience. When she fell into the sea, her consciousness was surrounded by that of many others who intended to hold a trial to determine her fate.
Yeah.
Therefore, the meaning of the 3rd
Do
slate
Oceanids
is
do that with everyone?
that the people of Fontaine shall try the Hydro Archon at the court of
It
justice.
can't be.
Yes, it refers to our present situation.
Yeah, so we are to blame at this. We made it happen.
I think I'm following now.
So that means
What
the
you're
worst is
saying
yet to
is,
come.
even though we decided to put on this trial to avoid fulfilling the prophecy,
Yeah, we ended up making the prophecy.
in truth, everything we've done has happened exactly as the prophecy
Gotta
foretold.
love how fate
So
works.
now, it seems, we're the ones making sure it comes true.
Yeah. Everyone pack your bags and leave. Let's stop right here.
What should we do?
I don't know.
Huh. No matter what,
The prophecy
I'm
will
at
be
a dead
fulfilled.
end.
If that's the case, does that mean the scene in the fourth slate will also be fulfilled soon?
How about we evacuate soon?
Traveler, I would like to point out another small fallacy in your deductions.
Oh, what is it?
About the fourth slate. You probably thought that the eruption of primordial seawater beneath the fortress of Meripede served as the surest sign that the prophecy was about to come to pass, yes? However,
maybe.
I believe that rather than being a sure sign, that eruption could in fact only be a small warning of something far worse to
Just
come.
small warning?
As for the root cause of the catastrophe, I believe you've already encountered it once before.
I have? Oh, again.
This eruption was just a small warning
I'll
of the things
just
to come.
skip through this.
We must find the root cause of the disaster.
It was both dream.
If we're talking about a true culprit, that could only be
So,
that thing inside the primordial
The whale's
sea, right?
responsible for the floods.
The truth, the original sin, the trial, and the root cause of the disaster.
Oh, it's happening. I told you everyone to run. That's an abyss rift. No, let's take him down. Oh, hey, there's child. Who's been gone, I don't know, months? Is he okay? He's been in Foul Legacy all this time. Nope, that's not enough. Damn, he's burning up. And down he goes.
That was way too close! How did that thing just
Nice
burst
rift.
into the opera house? Wait, was that the huge whale you saw in your dream?
Yep, that's right.
So we've met it at last. I understand very well why it has chosen to make an appearance here. That whale does not belong to Tevat. It is a monster that has traversed the stars, weeping all the while. It has been greedily consuming the energy from the planet's primordial sea, using it to grow. That is the main cause for the rising sea levels.
Oh, okay.
And once it has finished consuming all of the energy contained within the sea, its next step will be...
You said that when the Hydro Archon first created Fontainians out of Oceanids, she filled their blood vessels with primordial seawater.
Precisely. That whale finds the blood of Fontainians nigh impossible to resist. Therefore, when it left the primordial sea, it decided to make its next stop a packed opera house full of food.
A little
food
snack.
in the form of Fontainians.
We just barely managed to push it back, right? In that case, won't it come back to target the people again once it's managed to recover its strength?
That is correct. Indeed, it is more accurate to say that we should thank that Harbinger for buying us some time. Without him,
Nah,
the
I'm
whale
not gonna
would have
thank
likely come onto
Child.
land far sooner. From the way he looked, he must have been fighting the creature for quite a long time.
That battle maniac. We've always known that he had a special connection with that whale, but we definitely didn't expect it to help us out like this. Anyway, Now that we know that this whale is the actual cause of the disaster...
It is too late.
Why? What do you mean?
It had already absorbed too much of the primordial sea's energy before we could notice it. At this point, it has become practically integrated with the sea itself.
Then what do we do?
Even if the entirety of Tevat were to be destroyed, it could still survive and swim off towards some other world.
Oh, boy.
That's not something I will accept. We've already done everything we can, and we even found the true culprit. We've come so far. You can't just tell me that the last hurdle is some impossible foe. That's just not fair.
Indeed. That's not how a grand performance should end.
I'll fight it to the end.
So the prophecy will be fulfilled no matter what, huh?
Well, any ideas?
The prophecy.
Oh.
Yes, what has been prophesied
Again,
will
Nicole?
be fulfilled. You may view such things as the history of the future.
If the ending is still turned out like this, we couldn't fight against fate. We proved this is all about fate.
Just as prophecies are usually only the future as seen from the perspectives of the gods, could things be happening in hidden corners where the gods' gaze does not fall? Ultimately, fate shall serve as your only guide, no matter what will happen in Tevat's future. All you need to do is to play your part.
But what if I don't want to play my part? Could it be that even if the prophecy will be fulfilled, there will still be a way to save everyone? Did I miss something? I don't know. I'm confused. Wait, I forgot about Farina. What was it that she wanted to say to me at the last moment with a giant box? What was her real secret? Can we ask her now, maybe? Another cutscene. This is gonna get worse.
What's happening with the oratories?
I believe it is preparing to carry out the death sentence.
Farina! No, I still need answers.
What's gonna happen? Oh, there. That's a giant sword. And she's... Wait, no, this isn't Farine, this is Fossilor, right? Farina?
Sorry. That shocked expression on your face is just too amusing.
I'm shocked as well.
I couldn't help myself.
Also, what's with the opera house? Why is everything floating?
You are not Farina. Who are you?
The sweet sound of bewilderment. Marvelous. A sure sign that my attempt to deceive everyone was a resounding success. But to answer your question, I am Fossilor. You know, the god.
Yes, okay.
Fossilor. Why did you deceive us?
Yes, good question.
That wasn't my goal, of course. Goodness, no. But I had to fool everyone else too, if I was to stand any chance of deceiving the heavenly principles.
Oh.
Deceiving the heavenly
Also,
principles.
I love her voice.
It's all because of that pernicious prophecy. Dreadful, wasn't it? Everyone doomed to dissolve. Fontaine condemned to be flooded. One was not amused. In fact, one was positively bemused when that problem was thrust upon me by my dearest predecessor. That's the former Hydro Archon Egeria, for the uninitiated. It hardly gets more disastrous than a preordained national catastrophe, now does it? She knew full well that the prophecy would surely come to pass.
But yeah, well, the only thing we know is that Egeria went to... forgot. She went to Tanigi Hollow, and that's where she died. No, actually, the Amrita Pool is where she died. But she went to the Hollow, I know that, in the World Quest. So she died when she wasn't even in Fontaine.
And as one of the seven,
and then Fossilor
she
came.
also knew full well that one defies the heavenly principles at one's peril. So yes, as you have no doubt surmised, it was a rather impossible situation that I found myself in. I spent a terribly long time mulling it over, alone on the ocean floor. And I was almost growing barnacles by the time I finally realized there was only one possible solution to this confounding conundrum.
That is to fool everyone?
I had to outwit the heavenly principles,
Yeah.
allow the prophecy to be fulfilled, ostensibly at least, while saving everyone at the same time. I'm a genius, I know. I can only assume that's why Egeria chose me as her
But wait,
successor.
if the prophecy is supposed to happen, then what we heard, remembering in Sumeru, that the heavenly principles are asleep? How is the prophecy still going?
Although, looking back now, it was hardly the inheritance one dreams of. Between the task of saving the nation, the quotidian duties of the Hydro Archon, and not to mention the original sin of creating a new race of humans, I dare say she left me quite a colossal mess to clean up.
Yeah.
But one
But
can only
Nulet
play the hand
was right.
one is dealt.
The Archons
I
do
did not
pass
choose
on
this,
some
any more
info.
than I chose to be one of her Oceanid familiars.
Although Farina was also correct.
So you were also
she did
once
say she
one of the
doesn't know
Oceanids,
anything.
transformed into a human by Egeria's hand.
Yes, I was.
Oh.
I always dreamed of becoming human.
Ah, okay,
And I
so
still
even
do,
Fossilor
even
was
now.
an Oceanid.
In my eyes, to be human is to be part of the greatest
So
opera
she
ever
is
known.
Egeria's creation, before she left to war.
After becoming a god, I separated my divinity from my body and spirit,
Okay,
leaving behind only a self
I
that
understood
was
that
as
part
naive
already
and bewildered
2
as my
acts
past
ago.
self on her first day as a human being. The me you see before you now is that divinity. And
Okay,
the
I
human
understand.
counterpart I left behind, I named Farina. She could feel joy, sorrow, and everything in between. She could be as vain and conceited, or as meek and vulnerable as she wished. Her strengths were of a kind only a human could possess, as were her shortcomings. But in my eyes, Farina's humanity was what made her perfect. She was perfectly human in every way. The person I always wanted to be.
Aw.
Anyway, so then I cursed her.
Really? You can't say that.
All part of the plan, of course. The
Yeah,
plan
just
to
curse
deceive
her.
the
I didn't
heavenly
like it.
principles.
She was too perfect.
Do you still remember the final scene of the prophecy?
Uh-huh.
The Hydra Archon alone, weeping
I
on
don't
her
think he wants
throne.
to remember.
In order that the prophecy might appear fulfilled, I invited Farina to be an actress, to play the part of the Hydro Archon in the prophecy, under the curse I placed on her. So long as I, Fossilor's divinity, continued to exist, she could not die. But
Ah,
nor
so
was she
that's how
free
she
to live
lived.
her life in the pursuit of happiness. Instead, she was forced to take the stage in the opera house, to embrace the role of leading lady, to forever play the part of the god from the prophecy, all to create a deceitful appearance of that prophecy coming to pass. I suppose now you probably understand why your court is called the Opera Epiclese.
Yeah.
But Farina is only human, isn't she? Even though she has had a long life, Her mind is no stronger than that of any other ordinary human being.
Yeah, imagine how hard it was.
I cannot begin to fathom what she has had to endure. It must have been torture for her.
It has indeed. And although she is, in a sense, me in human form, I most definitely owe her an apology for it.
Yes, you should.
It's been 500 years.
Imagine 500 years you're acting.
And all along,
every day.
She's been playing her part in the most unimaginably long, unbearably lonely, and agonizingly painful opera of all time.
Oh, you wake up? Came into contact with Farina's tears. If I remember correctly, tears contain a being's strongest emotions. With sufficiently strong hydrosensitivity, I can form an emotional connection, just like I did with the Oceanid on the Fountain of Lucine. Wait, could this be Farina's inner world? And what is she doing out on stage? Wait a moment. That probably isn't Farina. It's likely a reflection of her inner self. I can only directly speak to that self. I might be able to get what I wanted to know. Came here for answers. Either way, this opportunity is not to be missed. Let me try talking to her. Okay. Okay, I can't jump on that. Hey, Farina, talk to me.
Oh? Who permitted you to come onto the stage?
Huh?
Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask you to keep to the rules.
Come on, it's me.
All right. It is not my intent to
Don't look at
reprimand
me.
you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance.
But I don't see an audience here.
Oh, do
Let
not
the lights
jest.
go off,
Can you not
please.
feel
Only
it?
for 1 second.
I am Focalor. The
That way I
eyes
can
of countless
calm myself
Fontanians
again.
are upon me. I must, at all times,
I think I
display
get
the
it.
utmost elegance and nobility.
Something's off. There's no getting through to her. Even if her heart of hearts, she's still playing the role of her Hydro Archon. What sort of resolve must she have that even her inner self is subconscious would have such an impenetrable defense? Have to find a way. I get it. It's like when she's in the spotlight, she has to act. So I'm gonna turn off those.
Dear audience,
Oh.
the performance is experiencing
without
a
echo.
technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
Get back.
This may hurt a little.
Don't interrupt Farina.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you
chains.
know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards?
Guards are not here. Oh wait, I shouldn't have used the third one. Oh no. No third one. That's all the spotlights turned off. In Farina's heart, they must have symbolized the eyes of the people on her. Yep, just as I said. So once they're off, she can breathe, finally. I hope I helped her. Speaking of which, I think I just received some sort of signal. What was that? True voice? A ticket? When did that end up here? A golden ticket. Huh? Oh. Maybe. Either way, it looks like the show is about to begin. In that case, show me how you truly feel, Farina. I'm guessing she wants to show Ether how she feels. Scene 1. Before a mirror, Farina. We're gonna watch a movie? Oh, now I'm Farina. And I can just slowly walk.
Farina. Farina.
Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you?
Be not nervous. Be not afraid.
It's false alarm.
I am before you.
Wait a moment. You're near me? How can this be?
Mirror you, huh? You know what? That's not bad. Let's go with that.
But this is the moment when she already separated from Farina. I would have loved to see
Mirror me.
another moment.
What do you wish to say?
Even before that.
The prophecy. Have you heard of it?
What prophecy? Wait. I know. I think. I don't know why, but it's in my head somehow. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Oh, very good. You know it well.
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly. The only thing I know for sure is this prophecy. Will
Okay,
it really
so
come to pass?
this is probably the moment she's gonna be
Yes,
instructed
will.
what to do, right?
And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later.
Yeah.
Things will develop just as
That's
the
not very
prophecy
reassuring.
declared.
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them. Will I dissolve too?
Nope.
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely to give people a chance to turn things around. It is the reason why you met me today. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Yeah, good way to tell her. You may have to suffer.
Oh, so there's still hope after all. Goodness, you frightened me.
Oh,
You
that's
spoke
not the
so
frightening
much
part
and
yet.
with so much certainty. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, why
Yeah,
do I
that's
have to be
right.
the one to suffer? But if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? So if I've already met you as my magical meeting in this world,
That's just basically guilt tripping her
if
into
there
taking
were
that role.
scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side
What if
and
Farina
my pain on the
refused?
other, is it not obvious where the scales should tilt?
You truly are the perfect human. My ideal. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role. That of the new Archon.
Uh-huh.
Play as...
She probably doesn't
God.
believe it.
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade. You must never let anyone suspect your identity. If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy. But should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role of a god
play
as
the role.
humans
You don't have to
imagine
be
them
one.
to be. Being a human yourself,
But the role is
I'm sure
very
you
complicated.
already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
For about 500 years.
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, many years. You will
I'm
endure
surprised it didn't
and not
frighten
grow
her
old until
immediately.
your task ends. But I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial, and everyone will be saved.
A trial, huh? How exciting. I'll be looking forward to it.
What's scene 2? Ascension speech, Farina. Dang, are we gonna watch some cut movies? Like this. This is already a very long quest. I think I'll have to divide it in 2 parts? Maybe 3? Okay, that's the throne. Which is only on the stage right now.
The Maison Cardinalise has announced my accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still don't know. Perhaps I should first try to act natural.
Okay, summon courage.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. Indeed, I am Farina de Fontaine, your new Archon.
Appear
In truth,
earnest.
I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all as the god Focalor, the god of justice. I shall do all within my power to lead
she
you into an
sounds
age of fairness and
simple
justice.
and sweet. That's all it's needed. Close politely.
Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together, after all. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully, I was able to convey my thoughts just fine.
That's the new Hydro Archon.
What?
Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would be a bit more assertive.
Oh, you want assertive?
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Yes, like a normal leader would do.
Shouldn't gods be all-powerful?
Oh,
She's being so modest. What's the difference between her and an ordinary person, then?
Really? Can we call Raiden over here and show these people how ruling with an iron fist feels like? They will say the opposite immediately.
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen. She might just be a Maison-backed puppet.
Really? The
Wait,
nerve of these people.
What's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Oh, this is bad. If I get exposed here, there'll be no saving
Because
the
people
from
think,
the
oh, you know, it's a god. They have to be high and mighty and everything, and step on over them.
Right. Mirmi said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine them to be. Calm down, Farina. Think.
Yeah, you have
What
to.
do the people want?
They want
How would they imagine a god to speak and act?
a strong and assertive god.
Assertive, with a strong
See?
sense of presence.
That's what I said.
One who can dispel all doubt. That is the character.
Maybe even make fun of them. They will love it. Oh. And she just switches to her
My
acting.
people, only ones such as you are deserving of my rule.
Imagine just on your first day you start acting like this. And perfectly.
Now,
Or maybe she
I
was already acting
wondering
before.
if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership of this opera house, would the children of Fontaine follow them? Well, it seems that you would all see right through them. Having passed my test, you are qualified to witness wondrous trials alongside my august self. Here in this opera house, you may consider my previous act a door gift of sorts. I thought it was a debut that suited the atmosphere.
It was just an opening act.
Now then, let us be reintroduced.
Ah, so that was just a performance. How could I have forgotten that we were inside an opera house?
Personality? It's quite shocking, to be honest, but I suppose it's a better look than before.
Such a fascinating and bold deity. How wonderful. Our future may yet be bright.
These people are weird.
It seems I've turned them around. Best follow this flow and restart my accession speech.
Resolutely with conviction.
My dear people, whether you acknowledge me or not, whether you trust
What
me
if I
or
chose
nay,
the other one?
I say to you, keep faith in your ardor for justice. We have heard it said that this nation's sins can no longer be washed away. Well, I say that justice is most fragrant when it blooms amid sin.
Okay. Turn up the drama.
The scales of justice should not weigh heavy in the hands of its God. On one side, it must carry fairness and justice. And on the other,
I think she
and
really
applause.
loves acting.
May law be the prayer on our lips. May judgment be our worship. Let us light the fires and drink to the future of Fontaine.
End the speech empathetically.
There is no trouble in this world that justice cannot solve. All that is needed is for you, my people, to believe in it, heart and soul. So long as I, the Archon Focalor, stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the Oratrice, I shall even judge the gods of this world!
Okay, that's very serious. Scene 3, right? Damn, this is gonna be long. What is this? Her office?
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Leave these kinds of things to Neuvillette. Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent, what kind of trial are you truly looking forward to?
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end all things.
Okay, so she's talking about the prophecy.
You hope to understand.
But she can't reveal it. She just says she waits for the trial.
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties. The trial I await. It will come one day.
And that was when? Like the third day? She can't obviously expect, oh, it's been 3 days. When is it gonna end?
Thank you.
Focalor did say many years.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own sense of perseverance instead. Long have you stood in line to meet me, have you not? Oh, I'm afraid that's
I
just
forgot.
an
In the first
inevitable
act,
consequence
it
of
did
my
say
divine charm.
the people of Fontaine can meet Farina personally.
All right. Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my family too. He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you, and to bring your words back to him.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes every so often, while not usual practice, should serve as a fine change of pace.
Ah, you're such a gentle and wise god. Thank you once again, on behalf of my son.
And again. What's that? What is she reading?
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of, I'm afraid things still don't look good.
I see. It's as I thought then. As your god, I did already expect this, but I wanted to see how far your human wisdom would allow you to analyze it. All manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass.
So she's investigating.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
And that's the old research institute before it blew up.
Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
And back to bed on day 3 or day 4 was it?
The day is finally over. I haven't had a moment to breathe this whole time, but it's good to see that everything's getting on track. There are no longer any voices of suspicion. Maybe this is fine. I just
No, Farina, this is not
going,
fine.
And everyone will be saved. Alright, Farina, don't think too hard about this. You need rest. Tomorrow's a new day.
Now, scene 4, Opera House.
Lady Farina, here are the new trial reports for the latest cases, as well as a summary of the
Again?
follow-up.
There'll be no need for that. I've seen them already.
It's the
There's no
same
need
thing.
to go back over scenes I've witnessed in person before.
Lady Farina.
And that's later, but that's how her everyday works.
So long for this chance to see you in this manner.
Indeed, my dear, loyal citizen. This joyous moment is an honor for us both.
Lady Farina, we're detecting significant hydrological anomalies near Poisson.
Understood.
Oh, that's
Keep
not good.
monitoring. Keep me informed should anything come up at the Institute.
And that's the end of the day.
Don't think I let anything slip today. I must show the people that there is nothing to worry about. I just don't know when these days will end. I feel utterly exhausted. Best to rest early today, too.
Scene 5, Opera House. Well, the same thing, just fast forwarding. She's researching, I understand. So she was doing a lot, trying to find a solution. Scene 182,375.
Lady Farina.
Wait.
It's
That's
like a dream being able to
around,
speak with you up close
let me
like
divide by
this.
365. That's 499 years.
I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was Madame Dioteria, almost 20 generations
those
ago.
scenes were days. And now it's 499 years later. Also, she said, yeah, this woman said, 20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is
What's with
indeed.
that laugh?
It brings me great joy to meet such
It
a
sounds
faithful
broken.
believer. A descendant of a line most ardent.
Farina, you good?
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Are
Oh.
you
Yeah, she can't take it.
Really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god whose dominion is the waters, can I?
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it. Honored indeed.
That's not good.
So interminable. So lonely.
This is the same lines in the Fontaine I heard.
Hundreds of
Now it all
years
makes
has
sense.
passed by now.
I thought, wait, is it Farina crying or something
The
else?
show
And
must go
why?
on for hundreds more.
And now I know the context.
I never imagined.
They planned this so well ahead.
Have I reached my limit?
I mean, 499 years is horrible.
Perhaps I reached it long ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But would that not destroy all I've done so far? I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries. But there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine.
Yeah, it's very hard.
Please, mirror me. You have to succeed.
And imagine, she got that mission 499 years ago and never saw Fossilor ever again. What now? It was... oh, it's one day later. Opera House, Farina, and...
Farina,
Oh.
you don't have to shoulder this burden
Me.
alone.
Oh, actually, that's present day right now.
Though I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone. Your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Yeah, that's what he said in the magic box. That's my voice? Is this the scene? Yeah, from the giant magic box. That's great. I didn't think that scene would replay in her inner world. Surely I'll find out what she wanted to tell me.
Share
Maybe.
my burden. That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty
No,
alone.
Farina, don't be like that. Please,
But
let
even
me
if
help
your
you.
burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
It's funny how I had to read these answer options and now he just says it.
A witness.
Why did I even read?
Yes. I've heard that you came to Tevat from beyond the stars, yes. And if Tevat is, in its entirety, a show on a stage, then you're just a spectator.
That's right.
Aren't you?
So tell me.
If that's the case, he's right. I could confide in him,
That's
couldn't
what
I?
she was thinking.
But if things don't play out as expected, the people of Fontaine will be the ones to pay the price.
Oh, come on.
No,
What
Farina,
do I have to do
you
to
shouldn't
make
be
her tell
selfish.
me?
But what if it's really alright, Farina? You've worked so hard for so long. Surely it would be okay to put yourself first for once. Is it such an outrageous thing to do anyway? To find someone in whom you can confide your frustrations and sorrows? Surely it could not hurt. If you let this opportunity slip through your fingers, it might never
That's right.
come by again.
Think it through.
Think about it long and hard.
And?
No, I have nothing to say.
It's still the same
I am
outcome.
Farina, the Archon of Fontaine. Everything will surely get better. All you need to do, dear spectator,
She's still fighting.
is to witness my performance.
I think maybe
until
she
the
can't
curtains
even
fall.
turn off her acting. Also, how did I get on stage?
Fine.
So, what? I gave up?
So even Farina doesn't know the truth? You've never once let her in on the full plan?
Yeah.
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive yourself.
But was it that necessary? You think they know
She
everything?
did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works. But that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the issue. I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine, yes?
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within the core chamber.
Yeah.
It now seems that that person was you.
I already
hidden
forgot
within the
about
machine
that
all along.
voice thing.
Am I right?
And then I became one with the Oratrice, taking Fontaine's gnosis with me.
Oh, so
Yes.
Nose is also
It would
there.
seem so, wouldn't it?
With her.
Alas, your understanding of this device still lacks sufficient depth.
Yeah?
In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact, a device created to kill the god of justice.
Yourself?
Beg your pardon?
So wait, but everything that it judged, who did it then?
Oh, you have it.
Well,
And to be more precise,
if the Oratrice
not
does work.
only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne upon which she has been placed.
And what does that mean?
I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose
You mean-
while Farina suffered?
You mean there will be no Hydro
My
Archons?
work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have
that
already
way.
discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to enact this death sentence.
So she planned this
It was
also.
all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Yeah.
Indeed. This power,
And you're
accrued
so
over
cruel
5
to yourself.
centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, had it only been used for that purpose. Almost all of it has now been stored within the Oratrice. But only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia, and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Focalor,
Yeah.
but for the Hydro Archon.
Oh, the
The
current
destruction
one.
of that divine throne. If I do not misunderstand your intent,
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of
Oh,
course.
yeah. That means she gives up the Gnosis and the power.
In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro
That
Dragon
means
of this planet.
Nualet will be full powered now.
But...
Well, at the cost of Focalor's life. It's a bit sad, though.
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign. And this is the face you make.
To think that dragons and archons are kind of enemies, and here we have one giving him something that he needs.
All you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked.
Yeah, it worked too well.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry.
Well,
I
he will
must
try.
say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the
Of course
same
they
crime?
are guilty. They started it.
Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed.
Yes.
I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of
So that means
pursuing human
Noelette will be
existence itself.
the next one that will judge
So,
everyone.
if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontainians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice. And to me, justice is the continuation of that existence, defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on. That should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself or all other Fontainians, have shouldered the burden of this sin for far too long.
That's
Udex
right.
Nervilette, the highest
500
judge in
years.
our land. When you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign, what verdict shall you pass upon us?
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Udex, I
Also,
see
he
now
was
that
also
your
part of
idea
the
too.
plan.
At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
Another cutscene.
The hour of my execution
Oh, this is
almost
the end,
here.
right?
For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but faced with death, I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Nervilette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
She's just starting to dance. And that's it. Well, that means Noelette is now complete. Thank you, Farina, for all you've done. This moment on, please live happily as a human, just as I wish we could. Well, she's free, finally.
I, Iudex Neuvillette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
Oh, so I think I get it. The original sin is erased. Because he is the ruler now. Huh?
What just happened?
He's already back.
Has the death sentence been carried out?
No.
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
I don't know what happened. Because
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
Didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
oh, and we didn't see it as well.
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial sea from that creature.
Can go
We
fight
should
it.
seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry.
You obtain power?
Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me
Oh,
mete
yeah.
out justice.
Because it was housing Focalors itself, so it won't work anymore. You mean me?
The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine. The beast that enacts the prophecy. Its
All-devouring
name
narwhal.
is the all-devouring narwhal.
Could have been a better
Come
name.
with me, traveler. The hour of execution has come.
Oh, there we go.
But how are we going to do that? It's huge!
I've already
Yeah,
done my
it is
best to
huge.
separate the power of the primordials. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source.
Whoa.
Unless I can find a way to attack it from within.
Oh,
I shall share
wait,
part
wait,
of the
wait.
ancient dragon power. We shall look for an opening together.
Ah, I think it has hydro resist because I'm doing very little damage.
Right now, right here.
Oh. You're a tricky one. What's that bar over there? What's it gonna do? What the hell is going on?
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour.
Destroy the Aria, the Maelstrom, whatever.
Present itself.
It's getting faster.
Let's dance!
Oh. What now? Okay. What? What the hell? What is this? Isn't the way of? So what is this? Techno dubstep music.
Bow your head.
What is this?
I have granted you my protection. Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
This enemy doesn't feel like it belongs here.
Silence!
Feels like it belongs in the Honkai, in fact. Not here. It's just a bit more.
Right here.
I think it's gonna kill me soon.
Come on, we can do it.
There. Oh, that's it? Oh, this is the story version. I don't get to kill it, I guess. What's going on? Oh. That just throws child like a bag of potatoes.
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job, but
Her design is very unique. Also, she doesn't look like she belongs here.
it was just supposed to be a short private training session for me. I didn't think that my disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
Okay, so that is Skirk.
Well, actually,
mentioned
I had
disciple.
a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder. I suppose I'll have to swing my sword 3 million times as penance.
3 million times? So, your master's pet?
Power.
Who is your master?
Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master.
Oh, at least Paimon is up to
right?
date.
It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you,
So I'm not weak.
on the other hand, managed to defeat the all-devouring narwhal without using power from beyond this world.
Oh, it's something Dainsleif mentioned. But what is the power beyond this world?
So you may speak to
Still
me
don't
as
know.
equals.
What sort of person would take the all-devouring narwhal as a pet?
I have to agree. It's a strange use of a planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal.
Yeah.
That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time than
It's too
pet
much.
sitting.
It's a bad
The
pet.
only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being...
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master?
Interesting.
Well, Child's master's
Those
master.
legs have the whole space in them.
Oh, right. So you don't know
I'm guessing
him.
she might be playable.
Sorry, I assumed you
someday.
did.
Just like Dainsleif and whatever.
His name is Sertologi.
Who? Never heard of it.
I am unfamiliar with that
New name I have to remember now.
Huh. So Master isn't sufficiently famous.
The
How
Fowl?
should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name The Fowl?
I have heard the Foul Legacy.
The Foul?
Is that where Child learned that form?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary?
I know that.
Vetterfilnir then?
No.
Or Gold Rhine-daughter?
Yes, I know that.
Ooh, that one we've heard. Rhine-Daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's Albedo's mom, right?
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names and titles from my master. I don't actually know
just
them either.
heard of.
But I suppose
They're
you
not
understand now, yes?
associated with you.
My master is likely a similar sort to Rhine-daughter. They are both pursuing some form of perfection.
Okay.
Wait, didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite catch their name.
Actually, never mind that. I believe it expedient to inform you that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deep seas to digest. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been
chaos?
fretting over should now be in full swing.
Oh. Yeah, there's little to be surprised about, Paimon. It is natural after all. The prophecy will surely come true. We knew this and accepted it. Well, yeah, Ether did say we will kinda witness it, but still try to save everyone.
Not to worry.
However,
Focalor has already managed to deceive the heavenly principles.
yeah, so in any case it has to happen. Just different results.
In the end, the
Another
people will all
cutscene.
be dissolved into the waters.
Come on.
And only Farina will remain.
Farina is crying her eyes out. Holy cow. There's no Fontaine anymore.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
So how do I get back? It's just the ocean now. Oh, well, there you go. The people haven't dissolved. Because they would at this point if nothing would happen. Oh, that was Sunny on the ship on the left. I recognize that white guy. And just a few ships. Oh, there's Risley's ship, the Fortuna. Oh, it's an airship.
All hands, initiate emergency rescue!
How did you get that thing to work? Remini? Also looking for anyone else?
Look! The water's receding!
Oh. It was that quick, huh?
It's a miracle!
Water's receding.
We didn't dissolve. The prophecy was wrong. The prophecy was wrong.
Well, it wasn't wrong, but you could say that. Whatever makes you happy. Oh, Farina. She has no idea what happened. But
Are you alright?
well, actually, she might have the idea that she's free now.
What is wrong?
Because she was waiting for the results to happen. Oh.
The
Newspaper.
Renewed. The Svina di Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I recently visited Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Svina di Rasula.
So
and
this
we
must
spoke
be
about Poisson's
days
present
later?
and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated. Hope is like seeing a small cookie when you're starving late at night. You just need a little of it.
Yeah, right. A little.
Skyship Winglet, boon or bane of the Fontaine Finnish Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a shield over the Institute, with Jurier turning out to be a once overlooked hidden gem. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter person achieve a miracle, they would find it all the harder to find a word with which to classify him and his team. Wow! Paimon barely recognizes the people in the reports. Are those really Jurier and Navia?
Yeah.
They sound like real big shots.
You just didn't meet them in that capacity.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, we would print a free edition packed to the margins with good news to calm people down.
Ah, good.
The value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups.
Charlotte knows how
Publish
to
further
work.
reports and go into the stories behind those people. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well-traveled eye.
The articles do make me curious about the things you play out.
Curious too! Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's there to be curious about?
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And
Yeah.
also, with you around,
I
I'm
know.
sure I'll get to see that Duke.
That's why you've been following me for 5 acts.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you down several times already?
Oh, this time will be different. Come on,
This
let's
time,
head to Poisson first, and then make a trip to the fortress.
this time you will tie
There are
him
some
up,
things
right?
you'll only know when you get there.
Oh, I got something. Finale. Tears among the stars. Ah, it's probably the material. Okay. Gonna go next. Alright,
Navia!
back in Poisson. And what is this guy?
Oh, it's you. What brings you all here?
Hey, we're just having a look around.
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here. Oh, the Fatui are here too.
Yeah, I thought so. Why is he here?
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snežević. He represented the Knave in sending us a large amount of supplies, and
Those
is
are
helping
some
with
weird
our work.
names.
Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely. We've lost a lot of people.
Yes, we know. We
moving
lost a lot.
That will have
Better
to be
not
enough.
to remind me of that.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about Fontaine's stray cats.
Oh. We have stray cats?
But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to share the same interests as the Spina.
I get where you're coming
okay.
from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be
Friendly
fine.
neighbors.
Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are
Corinne.
things?
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be another hour before the workers are able to go over there.
Huh? You're here too, Clarence?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina.
All
so
right.
she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat.
Okay, so she's popular
all
now.
right. She really came here to help me out.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision makers. And, well, I do already happen to be connected to Mr. Callis.
Okay.
Wait just a moment. Do
You
mind
have
me asking a few
connections.
questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel, about what it was like facing down a god. There's lots of exciting material there, I bet.
Forget it.
Nothing
I'm
much.
sure you can find a better theme than that, Miss Charlotte.
Yeah, because there was nothing going on. What, 5 minutes of pretending to duel someone and that's it.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Well,
Nope.
if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the Traveler. It's better.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let him off that easy. All right, then
Oh,
everyone who wants to
right
be in the
here?
photo, gather up.
The
and
place
smile.
doesn't look so well, but okay.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more shots.
Charlotte takes more pictures of Poisson and
All right, that should do it.
I can't read that fast and I'm not gonna even try.
Let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Clarand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit. I'm impressed.
Yeah, something you need too, Navia.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the Fortress of Meripede.
You already knew she was going.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillet, and he told you, right?
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Nervillet asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon. There's no guarantee that Ridesley will make a personal appearance.
You're right.
Will he,
I've
though?
got to treasure every moment I have with
Charlotte's
them.
been trying to
In
hunt
which
him
case,
down.
I'll be making a move first.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea in exchange.
What is interesting? Okay, go to the fortress. So we're gonna visit every place now?
Guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
I didn't like it that
Looks like
much.
you've been missing us.
I mean, it's fun for exploring, although it's massive and quite empty. For story quests, I think it was a bit dull.
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom our good head nurse recommended to me.
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress, sir.
Also, does Risley live here? Live down here?
No
Doesn't
need to
go
thank me.
up?
But that said, I shouldn't be the focus
Except
of your
for
interview.
special
I trust
occasions.
you recall our agreement?
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
What was the agreement? Hey, Jurio. Why is she taking pictures of him? And Loreen?
Hey, no need to be so nervous. I've already taken all the photos we need.
Yeah.
Miss Charlotte, do these
Just gonna
pictures
put
really need to
two.
be published on the cover of the Steambird?
Yes, on the cover actually. That's even better.
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier.
Of course.
Sir, please don't say things like that.
So are you a couple or not?
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this interview be very important to you then?
No, I just... This is my first time being interviewed, and I'm very thankful to the Steambird for...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed chatting with you more. You've definitely got more of that genius vibe going on. The boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Why, you recreated a myth back there, like an emissary of legend.
But did he
If I
recreate?
might ask, where's that flying ship now?
Or is the ship actually from that civilization? Oh, I forgot the name of it already.
Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself another exclusive scoop.
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the bowels of our factory.
What, did it
I'm
break?
afraid it won't be easy for you to get a shot of it.
Really? Well, then in that case, could I have an interview with you to make up for that loss?
She really does know how to squeeze opportunities for all they're worth.
You already know my answer, I'm afraid.
It's no.
Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or
Okay.
perhaps you'd like to take another photo of this couple of researchers?
What was that cut off?
Did you really
Okay,
have to
never
use
mind.
the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will do.
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here.
Yeah, very
Kind
lively.
of thing before. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
No.
Ah, Sijuin.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't you, take some pretty photos of our head nurse?
Why so sudden?
Sure. Come on, Miss Sijuin. Over this way. Let's find a brighter spot.
Sure. Do I have to smile?
Yes. Always.
So, how have things been at the fortress?
Same old, as you can see.
Say-
Fontaine's
oh.
undergone some changes, but this place is still more or
I
less
can
the same.
see them in the blurry background.
Other than that flying ship, it got a tad too much attention, I think.
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes
We actually
heroes.
need
Am I right,
poses
Mr.
or
Jurier?
something
Miss Lurvine?
for making pictures.
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun. Not that you would want that, which is a pity.
Yeah, you need the sun. Go outside, Risley.
I'll just leave the spotlight to you two.
Stop living in the sewers. You walk with Risley for a while and share news above.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure you remember, but his 3 young followers are still waiting for his return.
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good
As
being that their
always.
boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about you?
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along, and so will my duties. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed, we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Well, now at least the Primordial Sea can't do anything.
Hey everyone, the photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go. Till next time, everyone.
Where next?
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory next time. All right, last stop, the docks.
The docks. Oh well, there's Remine, Linny, and Lynette.
I didn't see them! They really are here! How did you know?
Navia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others after working together. Apparently, they've been at the docks distributing these strange pockets the whole time since.
Wait. Oh, I forgot about those pockets.
Traveler, Paimon.
They're not relevant anymore.
And Miss Charlotte, too.
What
Would you like a magic pocket?
What were they for? They didn't
What
help.
sort of gadget is it? It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal, but if you see any of your things floating around, you can use this to carry them. Or you could trick a friend into doing it for you. Trick a friend? I wonder which of my friends would fall for that.
Not me.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
He's gonna say yes.
Is this what you meant by I'll help you make some more friends?
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
Sure. Please, write down my address.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Remine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Oh, sounds like that would suit him.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant, and later Fremine himself. In the future, I think we can leave underwater escape magic to him too.
Well, that's his
That said,
specialty.
Would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
I mean, it could be interesting if you
Oh,
put danger
it'll work
elements.
out. Every journey begins with the first step. He'll become a part of our show eventually.
Lynette, could you come over? Miss Charlotte says she wants to take a picture of us.
That's something. Oh, a picture. I was thinking something wrong
My,
again.
that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone the moment she realized I had something to say to you. So, how have things been, Traveler?
I'm doing all right.
Father says that you did a great deal during the latest events. She's very grateful for your contributions
is
to
she?
Fontaine.
That's alright. We were more than happy to help. So, what's she doing now?
Oh, I guess you haven't heard. After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervilette opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Really? Again?
A diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought
Well,
it over,
this was all
there
for
were actually
nothing.
a number of things
Time
going
to go
for
to
it.
Natland then.
It could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child.
Yeah, right.
Or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down. Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about. Doesn't this seem a bit irresponsible?
Yeah.
I would agree, but I've also heard that
But does he know what it
seems that
is?
Monsieur
Not every
Neuvillette has
character
had a
knows what's a
significant change of
gnosis.
heart regarding the matter.
So there's some reason for this that only Neuvillette knows about?
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself.
Okay.
Ah, yes, speaking
I'll
of
probably
which,
meet him.
I did see him strolling around the entrance to the fortress of Meripede a while back.
To the fortress? Oh wait, to the stairs.
Paimon didn't think he'd have the time
Because
for
the
that.
fortress is underwater.
But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the knave, right? What about Child?
Oh, Child.
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover from his wounds.
Oh, he's
I hear
back
that the
already.
recent disaster really did a number on his health.
Yeah, Child was like a punching bag in Fontaine. No one likes him. Well, I guess I can call him one of my war buddies.
True. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with them this time.
You're not actually allied.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
There she is. Were you listening on me?
Father!
That just sounds so wrong.
Well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance.
You drop the act.
Please do not pay my
I can see
accomplishments in
through
Fontaine
you.
too much mind.
Are you going to take the gnosis back to Snezhnaya?
Of course she will.
That is our duty as harbingers. Yes, don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. With such a grand goal in mind,
Everyone
it is
says
inevitable
this
that we must
grand
wear
goal,
many
but no one
masks.
bothers to explain me.
Switching my masks is something I've always done.
Oh yeah, that's actually what... Which one was it that said? Child? Or Wanderer, that she can easily switch sides. Will you keep to your position?
Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't rely on it forever? As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners.
Actually, I just remembered something. Please help us deliver
A
this.
vision?
Oh, Child's vision. We
All
had
right.
it all along.
I'll remember to return it. Thank you for keeping it safe for him this
But
entire time.
I somehow don't think Arlecchino is gonna be the new Child. A rival that helps us, fights us, you know. I just don't feel it.
And that's a wrap for me.
She's good at acting.
Huh? You're...
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic channels I'll need to report to take a photo of you.
That is correct.
Oh.
So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in
Is
your
that
article.
how it is? She can't...
However, feel free to write as much as
can't
you'd like
take
about our
pictures of
dear
her.
magicians and our upcoming rookie talent.
I will.
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. I shall continue my walk while the weather remains so agreeable.
Farewell, Father.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled interviews. Thank you all. This'll be more than enough for me to write about, I'm sure.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go?
Again with the
Here,
magic
traveler,
pockets.
Paimon, you take one too.
You sure have a lot of
To
them.
move things about?
That's right. Funny.
And let me guess, we will
I was giving
never
out magic
use
pockets
them.
when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now. I guess this must be life. We will all follow our own paths, and serendipity will lead you to your fated friends.
Okay.
All right then.
That's enough
we'll be
of
handing out pockets
romantic.
in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a good...
Well, guess we sent
Well, now, look for Lulette. Okay. Okay, there we go. Why is he standing here? Or was he waiting for us?
Paimon didn't think you were going to have free time this hour of the day.
Ah, so he wasn't waiting.
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed this way. In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Okay, go ahead, explain. There's probably a lot of things.
On your mind, what with you being busy and all. Alright, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually saved? The whole business is still quite the mystery to us.
Wait, oh yeah, wait, yeah, we didn't see it actually. We were in the...
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them out loud.
Ah, yeah, no, let's say something before telling you the truth concerning what we saw that day. Fossil Lord to see the heavenly principles and youth Farina's endless performance, say Fontaine.
So that's
basically what we saw. Only saw Farina's part myself.
Fossil Lord destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you, transforming you into a fully fledged elemental dragon sovereign.
Yeah, he's amazing actually. Good thing I have him.
Doesn't quite get what you did to save the
You can see Zero, he's just destroys everything in sight.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to
I wonder
absolute
if we'll
control
get any
over the
other
Hydro
dragon
element.
characters. Although I think at least one is fair to have a little taste of how they strong.
Fontainians were
We have one
incomplete
for
humans
Tui
born
at
with Egeria's
least,
use of the
although
power
there's
of the
more.
primordial sea.
We have
with
one
constitutions
dragon,
similar to that
all
of
Archons.
mimics.
What else is unique?
But so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to grant them true blood.
Okay,
after
well
the
I
fashion in
understood
which
that
life was
part.
first brought into being on this planet. In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontainians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be dissolved by water from
Just
the
true
primordial sea.
humans. Okay.
Fossilor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy of
That's the
come
thing.
true while saving everyone.
It was technically saving Farina, well, Fossilor, but actually it was all about Nuvilet. He was the key component here. Could say that it was that moment that the Fontainians were finally born.
Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Fossilor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon's wish to turn Oceanids into real people too!
Also that.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
Really?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Oh, okay, more options. About the initial worry that was passed on
I
child.
have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young.
Oh yeah,
There,
he
by
fell
chance,
into the abyss.
He awakened the all-devouring narwhal.
He awakened? So it was there already?
But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability.
Yeah, because Fossilor was actually in the oratory, so...
As for the judgment passed by the oratrice
it
during
was
the
just
trial,
unreasonable.
whether it was due to that liability by association, or Fossilor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off,
I think it was
I cannot
deliberate.
say.
Guess Fossilor had Fontainians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real humans.
Yeah.
Hang on a second. Paimon suddenly got another question. Back when Fontainians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Well, that's a tough question.
Life has always flowed like water. Children.
Not sure what happened there.
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Okay. So it's a ritual.
Paimon sorta gets it now. jewel won't be of any further use, but it'll probably live on as a local custom.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Fontaine's future.
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina has already left. What's that all about?
Yeah, where did she go?
Ah, Lady Farina.
Is she fine?
The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out.
Yeah.
She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title to me, before leaving the Opera House.
Obviously.
I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted.
Interesting. Well, she was waiting 500 years for that, and she didn't say a thing.
She simply said that she was tired.
Yes.
Needed to rest.
I understand that. I saw that. She is tired. Let her rest.
Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the Opera House. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
Oh.
But she's still got a place to stay, right?
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothing, board, or travel.
Okay, that's good.
In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her spirit will, of course, take time to heal.
I hope we get to see her in the events.
But now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay down her burdens and lead a normal life.
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
Oh, control Fontaine, that's all.
After Focalor passed on,
his region.
the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials. After much careful consideration,
Well, not
I decided
much.
to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases and pass verdicts by myself.
But you already did pass verdicts. It's just that there was a double verdict always.
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine as its highest judge. The duty of the Hydro Sovereign and the duty of the Udex shall coexist within my person. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House shall no longer produce indemnitium.
And how is everything gonna work?
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Archon, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
But the various mechs and machines in the city are all still
That's what I've been saying.
Where are they getting their energy from?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve
What?
as a complete substitute.
You mean you
Another
can use
reason
both?
why I cannot quite leave Fontaine.
Not bad.
This ancient dragon's
But
authority
technically
stuff is
only
really
Farina
quite
can use
useful,
both.
huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Fontaine's nose is what we know.
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the knave as a diplomatic gift or something!
Leaving aside their intentionality, the two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Gnosis.
Of course, it's always the
The
Gnosis.
Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more.
But you
and I
did
do
you
not need
think
the
about
Gnosis's
it?
power. As such, it has lost all meaning for
At
Fontaine.
least give it in a fight.
If the
not just
Fatui
give
have
it
impure
away.
designs, then we might as well accede to their request now, and avoid unnecessary conflict.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude to the knave and as an apology to Child.
Ask
Probably
away.
that.
I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Next up on our journey is Natlan,
You will soon
of
be heading to
course.
Natlan, I presume.
Well, not actually that soon. It's still, you know, there's the summer event and maybe something else.
I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you what I know about that land. As far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation
Not to
of
forget,
dragons.
there's also Chenyu Vale, which I don't know if I'll record or not.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there.
Why not? They're
Unlike
different
ancient
dragons.
dragons, such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Large numbers of them have entered a form of coexistence with
Playable
humanity.
dragons.
Natlan is also the nation of war,
Yes, we
War
know.
ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you.
Okay.
The Harbinger known as the Captain has
Oh,
thrown
yeah,
his
we
head
know.
into the endless ring of war.
We know that. He and the Vark are duking it out there. I want to see Varka finally.
Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer.
Of course he is
Seriously,
tough.
everywhere you look, there's a Fatui Harbinger doing their thing.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you.
Okay, thanks.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know.
There's no more questions.
Hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question about Gnosis.
Okay,
When we
go
spoke
ahead.
to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving away the Gnosis had clearly changed. We guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware of.
Well,
No
well,
wonder the
he
House of the Hearth
got
is
the
the Fatui's
powers.
intelligence division. They
So
are
what now?
certainly sharp. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
Okay, what is it?
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two
Oh.
back to the surface. It went something like this.
Oh, let me see.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's going on. You hurry over soon as well,
Ah,
alright,
this was before.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here, so I'm no longer getting any interference. I can finally catch the scent of your power. What it's made of. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons.
Watch out,
With
Nuvalet,
something
she's
very
dangerous.
similar to a god's curse mixed in.
How did she know that?
Quite. I'm sure I've encountered something like this before. What was it again?
Before?
I do not know what you speak of.
Ah, of course. How could I forget? You should have the remains of the third descender on your person, yes?
The remains of the third descender. Oh, what kind of remains are you talking? Yeah.
I've never heard of any such thing.
What kind of remains? A corpse?
According to your parlance, I believe it may be
Gnosis.
called a gnosis.
Huh? I'm confused. Since when? Oh, first of all, it's a descender. That's important. Second of all, how did a descender get turned into a gnosis and then passed up to the Archon or the dragon?
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me.
Yeah.
But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Foul, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since.
Never?
So most of the information I possess, I got from him. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of common sense.
So she's just
Which is
living
why
in the
there are
abyss?
so many problems in our attempts to communicate with humans. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune to prevent any disasters from befalling you. To live in
Okay.
itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
This third descender
I'm
you refer
sure
to.
she will
Who are
return
they?
someday.
And when did they die?
Yeah, who are they?
Master never mentioned them to me.
Oh, great.
Perhaps
Another
it just wasn't that
cliffhanger.
important for me to
For a
know.
few years, probably.
If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the
It's
answer
weird
on
how
to you next
she's a
time.
new face and we will probably never see her for another 3 years or something.
Next time?
Yeah.
You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a disciple of my own, don't I?
Yeah.
He can be the messenger then?
Yes. Still being the punching bag child.
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
It's confusing,
The
Nubilet.
remains of the third descender?
Yeah, I don't get it. It was understandable until now, but now that it's remains?
So that's
And the ether is fourth descender, so it's not me. It's someone else, and who died. And specifically died before, I don't know even, died before the Hydro Dragon died. Before they got turned into noses and, you know.
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or special metaphor at play, that is what she meant to say.
Okay.
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it to the Fatui.
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting Fontaine at unnecessary risk by keeping it here.
The Descender. She mentioned one of them. I'm the fourth Descender. One that the noses are related to Descenders.
I guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them.
Still.
That means that the Gnosis,
Doesn't
which are
make sense
exceedingly
anymore.
element compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed come from the third Descender.
So it does enhance. I always thought so, but there are people that said
Does your
they
body
don't.
also possess similar properties?
Yeah, using elements.
Use elemental powers without a vision.
Although I
Sort of count as
thought,
compatibility, right?
up until Fontaine, I thought the Traveler mimics Archon's abilities, but now I think, especially with Nubilet to compare, I think the abilities compare to the dragons, actually.
No, let's not think about this stuff right now. It just feels creepy.
Besides, Ether can drop those water droplets when he uses a skill, and only he can pick them up. Nubilet does the same, but only he and Ether can pick them up.
Comparing the Traveler to the dead third Descender and all?
Don't worry, I won't die so easily.
That's what you say, but this topic still feels like bad luck.
It is bad luck.
Once Child recovers, let's get some more answers out of him. Or go look for his master and get the answers that way.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking. The same is true of being at court.
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like the crisis here in Fontaine's over for now.
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human.
I know it was hard.
What she wanted?
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god's will.
You understand the will of the gods?
I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the clouds in the sky, they will one day return to the earth as raindrops.
Get it? Wishes.
Life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what ultimately is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
Really, Nubilet, that's so deep. And Masquerade of the Guilty ended. What a fantastic quest. Well, I guess we can go to Semeru. I don't know why that just popped up, but I'll do that off screen, whatever it is. In any case, this was very fun and a very long quest, but it was very satisfying. Found out many things and a lot of new questions showed up, so I guess this is it for now. Probably we'll divide it in 2, maybe 3 parts, and then I'll keep going on.